Good morning from Andreas at Simplicity Farm, coming from the garden this morning. Wanted to do a small garden tour before we have our bad weather that's supposed to blow in again this morning. Good morning to you too. So here we go. Oh, the beautiful broccoli. It's finally starting to get little florets in there. I'm super excited about that. My first year growing broccoli. But isn't this an absolutely beautiful plant? This is the Love Lies Amaranth, and I am in love, you guys. Look at all that pink. Oh, it's gorgeous. Here's some of the cabbage and kale and some of the beets. I'm going to check these later and see if they are ready to be harvested. Last time I checked, the beets still were quite small. This bed is mostly my hot pepper bed. We got a really cold snap and everything died back. I left them in for just to see, and as you see, everything is starting to bush back. So I'm going to let it go for a little while and see what happens. I know I have to thin these out, but these are cucumbers. So I had first sowed a bunch of cucumbers, and of course the marigolds are coming up. More cucumbers on the other side of the trellis. I love cucumbers. So I first started sowing the cucumbers before we went on our trip to Milwaukee. And when we came back in a week after, still no cucumbers. And I didn't want to miss my cucumber harvest. So what I ended up doing was I re-sowed my cucumbers. And now they are that thick. So I'm giving them just a little while longer, seeing them with their true leaves, and then seeing which ones would be the strongest in thinning the rest. Oh, these are my mammoth sunflowers. I'm super excited. Got these seeds from Baker's Creek. I cannot wait to see them in all of their glory. I have a tomato at the end, some basil. This was a pepper. I'm not quite sure what it was, so I put it in. I don't know if you could see, but we have a couple starts. Those are some coral bells. Same thing happened with these sweet peppers. They all died in that cold snap. So I bought one to put in here with the rest that I started from seed, just to see what we would do. And then we have purple potatoes down at that end. And then a few different types of zucchini. I wanted to give grapes a try. So what I did is I went to our local family-owned nursery and I picked up a Swenson red grape. It's a table grape, but you can use it for many different things. I bought it as a dormant stalk, and it is coming to life beautifully. These are some of my elderberries from last year that are coming back in full swing. Oh, this twist and shout hydrangea I got from the feed store. There was like 2 to 5 live leaves on it. They gave me a great deal, and I felt like nursing it back to health. It only took a couple days, and as you can see, it is standing tall with new growth. It's trying to flower, so I'm super excited about this one. One of my raspberry plants that is coming back from last year. I thought this one would spread out a little bit more than it has, but I am okay with that. Here's the other raspberry here. It's bushing out and it's spreading. It hasn't been getting entirely too tall, but we will see what happens. My other elderberry from last year. This whole area is an experiment too. We pulled out one of our desert bushes. The soil looked pretty good underneath it. It was more fluffy than anywhere else on the property. So I did plant some watermelon. As you can see, all the corn is popping up. Some different squashes, some pole beans. I do have my loofah gourds coming up on the trellis. And I do have some okra that has not sprouted yet. Those are some of my Blue Lake pole beans. And these are my other experimental tomatoes from the nursery, because I just wanted to see would they thrive and would they grow in our native soil with some fertilizer. I do have it growing up a string to the middle of this where I do have pole beans and loofah gourds planted. This is my mixed flower garden and pretty plants. I'm going to be using 4 pollinators and for cut flowers. I'm super excited about this. This is a brand new thing for me to do a flower garden. Okay, young man, I hear that you want to be heard. Tell everybody what you think then. Oh, you don't want to talk now? We don't want to talk now. But while we're over here, I planted this pear tree right here this year. Right underneath that rock is a deep rooting water system that I made. And as you can see, I just threw some squash and some other seeds around when I planted it. So that's the mystery. So we will see what those mystery seeds are when the season progresses around that pear tree. I'm super excited because I really can't remember what I planted there. I'm pretty sure there is a spaghetti squash, and he wants to talk again. But I believe there's an acorn in there. My son thought that I planted some watermelon in there. We'll see. So here is some of my sugar snap peas. We do have some. I just checked it. It's not ready to be picked yet. I cannot wait to taste it, guys. This little tomato I sprouted, and I wasn't sure if it was gonna make it. So I put it in the ground. It was stunted for a while, but now it's starting to grow. This is a midnight snack cherry tomato. We have one on the vine. I cannot wait. Look at that color. This is a pear tomato. This is another tomato that I was growing, and somehow or another my labels came off or disappeared. So I'm not quite sure what this is. And same with this one, but I want to say this was a chocolate stripe. I could be wrong, but we're flowering and we shall see. We got this little one. And this is one that I saved from a friend. It was not going to make it. Got a nice little nasturtium growing. And these are some bell peppers here that I got from the local nursery that they had on sale. So let's take a moment and talk about the damage that you're seeing on some of the leaves. It's not disease and it's not fungal or anything like that. Where we live, it's high wind, and we have been dealing with 60-mile-an-hour winds constantly with a little bit of a break here and there. So some of that is wind-whipped leaves, but what I have been able to see from it, the ones that are surviving that, what they're doing is they are growing back in bushier and more healthy. So we shall see as the season progresses. As I said last video, we're at the very beginning of our season, pretty much. This is my lettuce and kale and turnips, Paris Island romaine, some purple broccoli. I think it was some cabbages that got planted entirely too close together, and some more kale. Then we come down here, I have some tarragon. These are jalapenos. These are my eggplants, some more potatoes, and some of my smaller tomatoes that I put on this trellis. More potatoes, my ground cherry, my artichoke, and some more eggplant. I have some more peas over here. Those fell over. I'm going to have to bring them back up. But this was a volunteer lettuce, some romaine as well. This was my lettuce bed for the fall. More potatoes. That one is not looking too good, but I have a few more. Hi, kitty. Hi, Kit. Hi. My collards patch, but something has been eating it. But what was funny is I noticed this was my kale patch last year for the fall. So I've noticed some kale is popping up that I didn't plant this year, but I believe it was seeds held over from the fall. So I'm going to try to do another planting of collards and see if I can put a cover over it and get some harvest, or just wait until fall. A beautiful little Roma that is filling out. We got flowers. See, this is the kind of damage I was talking about. There is some bug damage, but this is from the wind. But as you see, I was talking about it growing back bushier. That's what I'm talking about right there. And then I believe these are dragon breath beans. I'll have to see when they finish coming in. I have a couple Kajari melons here, and the Eden's Gem cantaloupe. I'm super excited about those. Hi, ducks. Thank you for walking around my garden with me today. As the season goes on, I'll be sharing with you our growth, our successes, and our not successes. I appreciate all your guys' support this past week with the launch of the video and the encouragement that I've heard over and over. There is no way that I can explain to you how that filled my heart up. There was a couple more beds I wanted to show you, but unfortunately, I don't know if you can hear the wind right now, but we do have some bad weather blowing in. I do have some things I wanted to do in the garden, and it might have to hold off. I am not complaining. I am okay with the rain. They help your plants grow. They give life into the soil.